Hey folks, this is Matt aka Slash, and we are back in Kerbal Space Program. You wanna know why? Cause we're at version 0.90 beta. It's beta than ever, they claim. Beta than ever! But, yeah, it's apparently getting pretty close to a full release. They're getting to a point where they feel it's feature complete. So I decided to give it a try off camera, and I was really enjoying the stuff that they have changed in here. So we're going to start a new career mode and talk a little bit about the changes. Let's see, what do we want? Apparently the European Space Agency has actually offered some of the visuals and whatnot to Kerbal Space Program. Which is pretty cool, working with the KSP guys, with Squad. Let's see, I'm gonna go with... Oh, Ionic, Ionic something phonic, protonic, whatever. That looks like a cool flag. We're going to fly under the flag of Ionic something or other. Difficulty options, oh wow. Holy moly, let's see, easy, indestructible facilities, oh I see, it's got, so that's kind of neat, I don't think it had that before, so you could slide the starting funds around, stock vessels, indestructible facilities, entry purchases, oh you can require entry purchases, oh wow, hard doesn't allow quick loading or anything either, holy, I think we're gonna go with normal, keep 100%, I'm going to turn off missing crews respawn, though, because I don't like that. But I like reverting flights and quick loading. Auto-hire crew members before flight. I guess that sort of makes sense. Actually, I'm going to turn that off, too. No entry purchase required on research, I think, is a good thing, though, because we're starting out low on the funds. Yeah, let's give this a try for our career. And start! So one of the things that they have changed, you may have noticed the indestructible facilities icon. That's because there are destructible facilities. And you'll notice that the facilities look different as well. They are sort of shabbier looking. And the launch pad itself, all the way out here, see if I can't manage to get a good view of it, is basically just a hole in the ground. There's not a whole lot to it here, and you'll note they give us these little pop-ups and there's upgrade options available. So right now the launch pad supports a 20 meter by 21.2 meter vessel weighing no more than 18 tons, and when we get to upgrade it, it can be larger, 36 by almost 40 and 140 tons. And they have these little helpful, tutorial type thingies that I'm not going to take the time to read through. But I think first off, we have to go in here to our Kerbal Space Center astronaut facility. We've got our main guys that started the whole thing. You'll note that they have specialties now. Jebediah Kerman is a pilot. Bill Kerman has engineering, and apparently he can repair broken parts. So it's not as, like, if you, what is the deal with the, like, if you bust a tire or whatever on a rover, not anybody can do that. An engineer has to fix that, reinflate it or whatever. And scientists boost the value of data from science experiments, so that's pretty cool. And you see Jeb there, Effects Stability Assist, he provides SAS. If you don't have Jeb flying, or a pilot in general flying, then you don't get SAS ability on your rocket. So he'll be flying most of our initial missions, and if we get to a point where we don't need the SAS, or we get an SAS module or something, maybe we'll switch to Bob to increase our science yields, or maybe we'll just wait until we can send all three of them up with a larger rocket. Let's see, is there any point in bringing in anybody else at this point? Not really. I think our max, it's hard to see there, but I think our max is 5. I'm just going to keep our stock 3 guys for the time being. So, let's see, the next step is definitely mission control over here. We gotta choose our contracts to up our funds and in order to get some reputation and whatnot. So we're definitely going to be launching a vessel today. And I'm pretty sure that we can hit 5,000 meters. So we'll do that one. And you'll note I cannot accept anymore, because we can only have 2 active contracts at a time with the Michigan Center at its current upgrade level. If I right click, it tells me max active contracts 2. When we upgrade it, we can get 7. Over here at the tracking station, you can, orbits are visible in the map, but if we upgrade, you can see the encounters in the map. What else do we have down here? Research science limit 100. 500 is the next upgrade up for that. Astronaut complex, we can go... Oh, this is the big one right here. Kerbals can only disembark on Kerbin, meaning we can't EVA in space to get extra science and do EVA reports until we've upgraded this facility. Then we can do EVAs and place flags. So it's pretty crazy. And then the administration building over here has different strategies and stuff, which I think is new to this version. So we've got all of these sort of civilization-style ideas here with these different advisors. So here's our finance guy, Mortimer. We've got Linus, who I guess is named after the founder of Linux, Linus Torvalds. And he is on the science committee. And then we've got Walt, does public relations. And then Gus is the operations guy. So there's a couple of different things here, like we can't do these. We don't have enough reputation for this one. But there's this one. Let's see. Recovery transponder fitting. Recovering parts landed far away from the Space Center can be costly. We can reduce those costs by installing better transponders on the parts we launch. These units are not cheap, but they should make it easier to find parts. And it gives you additional funds for your launch costs. Or it doesn't give you. It costs more to launch vessels, but you get a little bit more back on your recovery. So there's all of these different things. Repatriation, income, or a campaign. We got to use some of the funds that we make to put into PR, but we get extra reputation for each fund. And then this commitment slider, you can change how much you want to put into it. So it's pretty crazy. We're not going to choose any of these right now, but it's a crazy extra element to the game. And then we'll just, I think, start off with our typical starting vessel to get things going. Okay, Werner von Kerman is helping out here, but I know everything I need to know over here. Let's see, the UI over here has changed as well. You can sort by different categories. I think you can filter as well. Oh yeah, here we go. Filter by function, module, resource, blah, 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 blah. You can do your sub-assemblies over here, adding custom categories. So that's pretty crazy. But we're just going to start off here with our typical ship. Now we've got our command pod in place, and we have a couple of other options. We can offset it. If it's not quite in the right place, we can rotate it with gizmos, kind of like Spore. Reminds me of the gizmos that they have in Spore for rotating creature parts around. You can reroute, so if it's attached to one part but you actually want it attached to another part, you can change that. You can change the offset, drag it around like that. And obviously place does what it always did, so that's kind of crazy. Alright, let's throw on... We don't have a whole lot of parts, so we're just going to make a rocket here. I think we're going to try 4 of those. And then our 1 engine that we have. And then over here, we're going to grab this. We're going to turn... Oh, the angle snap is still on from when I was playing before, so that's good. I'm going to put that on there. We're going to throw the booster on, like so. And here's where the offset can be handy. If I do that, and I drag this down a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit nicer attached onto there. And now I'm going to go back to place, and I'm going to click on this. And we're going to do X for symmetry, and we're going to put 4 of these on here. Just like that, and that should provide some stability and some extra oomph. Now we can go over the eye icon down here, and look what it tells us. Parts 14 out of 30 is the max, but our mass is too high. We've got 21.1 tons right here out of 18 tons, so we're not going to be able to put all of those parts on like I wanted. Let's try getting rid of one of these and see what that does. Nope, that's no good either. Alright, well, we don't need to go too ridiculous here. Oh, wow, that's really bad too. Alright, hold on. Let's just do this. That's only 18. I haven't figured out quite what I want to do here. I definitely want to use these guys to get some space, but maybe we go with like 3 times symmetry instead. So let's put that on there. Grab the rocket booster or solid fuel boosters again, and we'll attach those like so. Go back to offset mode, drag those down. Alright, our weight is still within tolerance. What else do we have going on in here? I think that's pretty much it, other than the parachute, which obviously we want on there to make sure that everything goes properly. And then we'll go ahead and throw a communitron on here so that we can transmit a crew report from the pad for a little extra science. Stick that on there. And I think this is going to be our first vessel. Now, what should we call it? Coming up with names for vessels is the worst. You know what? Since it's ionic, proponic, faflonic, or whatever over here, all of our craft should end in ick. So how about supersonic? This is the supersonic one. I actually have no idea what the speed of sound is on Kerbal, but I'm going to assume that we'll be going faster than that. So the supersonic one. Oh, we need to redo the staging down here. Gonna start off with just the solid rocket boosters. Then we'll do the engine. Then we'll do the parachute. Because I want to try to coast a little bit to get a little bit of extra altitude, just to test this, just to see what we can get. We'll get over 5,000 easy, so I'm not concerned about that. And I think that's going to do it. Let's save one more time and head to the launch pad. And hopefully not explode. And it looks like they've been launching already, or maybe this is just the explosions from all the previous attempts. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put the SAS on. We're going to throttle up to max with Z, which I think was new last version. I'm going to grab a crew report before we go and transmit that so that we can... I don't know why it's complaining not enough electric charge for the reaction wheels, but... Very good. 1.5 science gained from the pad. You know what? We can EVA him while we're landed here. See how it says SAS disengaged? Because there's no pilots on board and no SAS modules. So that means the ship will not maintain itself without a pilot in it. So let's go ahead and capture that and climb back in. And we are ready for launch with KSC's... vertical assembly or vehicle assembly building off in the corner. SAS back on, and we launch in 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Okay, I was a little worried about these bending in, but we seem to be doing okay. We got a little rotation, which is fine. I'm not too concerned about our orientation here as long as we're mostly still straight up. Now, one of the things while we're waiting for this to ascend and these to burn out, one of the things I noticed is that Jeb has a 0 out of 5-star rating. The Kerbals can actually gain experience. Oh boy. Don't explode. Do not explode. I was not expecting overheating. I think we'll be okay. But anyway, they can gain experience points. And as he gains experience, the SAS will actually have additional options. Right now it's just stability, but it actually gains options for, like, find me the prograde vector and stay on that. Oh boy. Alright, we're going pretty good, and we broke our height limit, so you can see 2 contracts fulfilled. Alright, that is done. I'm going to go ahead and let this drop to about 200 meters per second before we fire off the engine, and we'll see how much higher we can get. And ignition. Alright, we are gaining speed. It's managing to lug this dead weight along just fine. I'm not going to take another crew report just at the... Well, actually, you know what? I might as well, because I think we're regenerating electric charge. So let's go ahead and do another crew report while we're flying. And transmit that. That way we can get one when we're on the ground as well. Excellent. Flying over Kerbal shores. It's all about maximizing that data as much as we can. We're doing pretty good. Let's see what the map says. Oh, Apoapsis is pretty high, actually. You know what? I think I might actually turn a bit west now. Just to bring us back a little bit more in line. And how about some north? I want to land relatively close to the Space Center. Whoop, whoop. That's too north. Okay, that's it. We're gonna come down pretty darn close, and we actually do escape the atmosphere. Unfortunately, I can't do an EVA with him while we're up there, but I will be able to do another crew report from space, and probably should be able to transmit that. I'm actually going to turn the SAS off to save the electric charge. We'll transmit that, and then do one more when we get to the ground, and that'll be a good haul of science. Well, we are officially in space with our very first flight. Which, unfortunately, we miss out on some of the contracts, but at least we know we can make it. So, altitude record set, 2294 and 11 reputation. That's funds and 11 reputation. And then the launch of the first vessel here was 4,500 funds, 5 science, and 11 reputation. So our funds are up to almost 30,000. Reputation is still hanging out here in the low area. And we have 10 science so far in the bank. Alright, let's fast forward this till we are about to land. So, we've re-entered the atmosphere, and I'm realizing I'm actually further from Kerbal Space Center than I had wanted to be. And we're coming down into some potentially dangerous territory. And that's because I failed to account for the fact that Kerbal was going to rotate underneath us while we were hanging out up in space, and I forgot to do a crew report while I was up there. So, we'll do a crew report now, because this should be different. Kerbal's upper atmosphere, that works. Let's transmit that, and then we'll get one once we're landed. There goes that electric charge. Alright. Gonna go ahead and activate the chute. We're tumbling now, but the chute will help us stay upright. There you go. You're going up as high as we did does cause some potential concerns for landing safely, I just realized. Hopefully the parachute doesn't tear off when it deploys, because the elevation here is much higher than we want it to be. Oh, good luck, Jeb. This could be very bad indeed for you. There's the moon in the distance, looking like the Death Star with that little dot on it. That crater. Well, we missed the mountains, so that's good. What does the crew report say for now? For the Highlands. Alright, let's keep that. We are definitely, unless we slow down somewhere, we're definitely going to have some explosions happen when we touch, because we're going 15 meters per second. And I don't think we're going to slow down sufficiently, so hang on, Jeb. Hopefully you'll survive, and it'll just be the solid rocket boosters that go. Oh! Oh! Huh! He made it! He survived! Yeah, thumbs up, man! Wow. That was crazy. And we rolled to a stop with the hatch up in the air, so that's good. I don't think I could take another crew report. No. So, let's go ahead and EVA him. And then while he's hanging on, we should be able to do an EVA report. Yeah, it thinks we're flying. So we'll keep that and then store it. And then we should be able to just kind of hop off here and do another EVA report. Yes, from Kerbal Highlands. So that gives us another one. Keep that data. And now, can we manage to climb back on board, or are we going to have to recover Jeb separately? I think we'll have to recover him separately. So let's go ahead and recover the vessel, which is Jebediah Kerman. And then we'll go back and get the parts. But Jeb's got all our science. The game seems a little snappier to load for me, too, going between scenes, so that's nice. 7.4 science brings us to 21 science. We got 5 science for recovering Jeb. And then the other 2.4 was the EVA report from the Highlands. He had more data on him, didn't he? Or no, the other stuff is stored in the capsule. And Jeb has 1 experience point that he has gained from that. Now we can go into the tracking center, and we should be able to retain or regain the rest of the stuff. Yes, blah, 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 blah. We know how this place works. So we can go ahead and recover that vessel. Aha! 22.7 science brings us up to 44. Fantastic. With the command pod and this other stuff, brings us a little bit, some poultry funds returned. And then we can turn on debris and pick up what's left of that, which didn't give us anything, but at least it clears the board. Still says 1 debris, which is weird. Now, real quick, while we're in here, you'll notice that there are a couple of locations marked out on the planet. That's because there's some new missions available, contracts available. And some of them have you go to specific locations and do crew reports at particular altitude limits around those locations as part of surveying the planet. So you actually can spend a decent amount of time just trying to fire rockets to particular places and picking up science and reputation and funds and whatnot that way. But now that we have all of that, let's check out and see what it says. Alright, we got 31.7 roughly. I'm not sure. That's starting to get into the green. That's not too bad. And 44.6 science. Let's go in and research some stuff. So basic rocketry. We'll get some additional pieces here, including our mystery goo, which is very nice. Research. And let's see, I think we want the SRBs, the big SRBs, and the bigger engine. I think that's a good idea. And the Cybertrons is not a bad idea either. That would be 20. And that's all we're going to be able to afford if we get... Oh, no, this is 15. Actually, we can get this and one of these two. We can get 2 of the 3. Oh, that's a radial decoupler. We already got the stack decoupler, right? Yeah. The radial decoupler would be very useful for the SRBs, so I think we're going to need to do that. This is more for landers, and we're not quite there yet. So let's pick up that one and this one. I think those are the best options. Now, you'll notice they all say owned, because I turned off the option to have to purchase them once we've researched them. If I didn't have that option enabled, I'd actually have to come in here, and once I picked it, I would have to pay whatever funds it says underneath to make that part actually available. And I'm not quite ready for that those shenanigans yet. So we still have all the funds that we need here. Now let me see, if I right-click on this, we don't have enough to upgrade that. We don't have quite enough to upgrade anything, it doesn't look like. Because some of the upgrades are really expensive. Especially the VAB at 210. And that one's 202. Yeah, and 510 for this one. You can't really do too much with that. Astronaut complex upgrade required for EVA surface sample. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, all the stuff that you can do with this. So upgrade that. EVAs and EVA place flags, but you still can't take surface samples. You have to upgrade this one and this one in order to take surface samples. And apparently, I have read... Let's see if I can't get in... Can't get in very close right now. But apparently this flag down here actually changes height based on how upgraded our facilities are. Which I think that's a pretty nifty concept as well. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. I did a lot of talky on all the stuff that's in beta than ever. And I'm really excited for it. The new features in the beta has reinvigorated my love of this game. And hopefully you'll be seeing it more regularly on the channel again. So look out for that. But until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye.